Okay, before I bring in a military perspective, Adit, I want to bring you into the conversation. There is clearly an attempt here by China as well. They've just hosted a very grand, a very lavish SEO summit. We've seen all the imagery that's come out of the SEO summit. Yes, one can argue that ultimately at the end of the day, not much has come out on paper. And a lot of that chatter has already begun, that what was really the point. But that's not true. Somewhere, Adit, there was an effort to just send out a message, and it wasn't a subtle message, surely, through the SEO summit. So we've had the SEO summit, then this is China's military parade, where again there's a photograph of three world leaders, Kim Jong-un, Russia's Vladimir Putin, and China's Xi Jinping standing together. What does this signal about the formation of an alternative, non-Western led global network, or is China somewhere now succeeding in at least giving out that impression that, okay, if the United States of America wants to abdicate from its role as the sole leader of the world, as it has been for many past decades, self-proclaimed or not, we are ready to fill in that vacuum as the second largest economy?
I don't think it's so much the Chinese which are sending out that message, but I think the message is clearly being sent out by the very myopic sort of foreign policy that the Trump administration is basically following. With Trump and his various minions like Peter Navarro, the MAGAnomics is very myopic and very invert looking. So they're basically trying to only cater to their domestic audience while forgetting, America's role and its position in global affairs. And that is the kind of messaging that they've sent out, which countries like China are basically now sort of exploiting and garnering the benefits of. So what the Chinese have predominantly done is they've taken this opportunity and they've postured a united front. The optics of Vladimir Putin with Xi and Modi, has sent out rather nervous moments, not only just in America but also in Europe. We saw comments coming in from various European MEPs yesterday saying that we need India to provide that sort of counterbalance to Chinese hegemony, which is the messaging that they're basically sending out to the Americans at this point. But having said that, yes, the SEO may just be on paper, but what Donald Trump has succeeded in, he has succeeded in ensuring that for so long, a grouping which was basically on paper has somewhere or the other formalized now. They have started to sort of gain momentum at this point, which is what we should be thanking Donald Trump for, because it's creating a sort of another opening for India to sort of try and open its supply chains. At this point, you have to thank Narendra Modi, because he has achieved something which is very rare. So he went into China, attended the SCO, got his trade deals done with the Chinese. It was a complete reset from that perspective. Re-established his relations with Vladimir Putin, and just when the military function was meant to be happening, to ensure that he doesn't miff off his ally, the Japanese, he flies back and chose to basically miss out on that particular event of the Chinese military demonstration. So all in all, I think it works out in favor of India. The broader message that Indian diplomacy is sending out to Western hegemony is that we will stand up to bullies, and we will not cave into your bullying tactics. Devika.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.